So in this video we're going to be talking about the MaxTAF training solution for Maximo and Maz. This training solution, when compared to more traditional methods, be those video-based training materials or screenshot-based or even just text-based, this solution has a number of advantages. The way we run it is actually, this is a live automation script running against the actual Maximo system. So it has a number of advantages both for the user, in that you're really working with the system and there's no sort of guesswork, you're actually getting exposure to the system. And then from the building perspective, it's very, very easy to set up in the first place, and then on a long-term basis it's very easy to maintain. So this is a potentially superior option to alternatives. So to look at this from the trainees perspective to start off with, what we're presented with is something like this. So what I've done is I've ran an automation script, and the script has gotten me to a certain point and then it's paused and it's providing me with some information. So if I was a trainee, all I'd need to do is click this and take control. So what's actually happening is this script is running on one of our cloud servers. If you're an on-prem customer, this will be on one of your own servers, but it's basically the same difference. And all we need to do as the trainee is follow the instructions basically. So first of all, let's learn in this one we're going to be creating a new asset record. And when we click, you can see that the script now starts taking us through some of the sort of like unnecessary tedious steps, logging in, navigating to the right windows and so on. So it'll take us to where we want to be. So as you can see, we're getting to the assets menu and we've paused again. So now we're getting some instructions, and as you can see, the script is highlighted here. They highlighted the plus button here. So if we click on the plus button, and we've started to create a new asset. Again, it's highlighting. We've put in some data already. That's what the automation's already done. So we get some instructions, and now it's going to fill in some more information. And it's just going to give us some stuff. I mean, this is just an example. You can set this up however you like. It can be more complicated, less complicated. It can do pretty much anything you want to do, because what you're doing is using a standard Maximo workflow here. So yeah, we just finish up, we press save, and lo and behold, I've learned how to create an asset. So if I need to do that again, I could, but that's the basic workflow. So yeah, from the user's perspective, it's live in the system. You're genuinely using it, you're genuinely clicking on buttons, and potentially a superior experience for your trainees. So let's have a look from now the builder's perspective. The first thing to say is it's very, very easy to put this stuff together. So what I'd start with is I'd take my Maximo MaxTAF recorder, and that will produce the basic script for me, and all that's producing is it's outputting in this format. So this would be a click, for example. If we look down, this is typing in information. All of this was things you just saw in the from the trainer's perspective. And then all we'd need to do is to transform this into a training script. We need to add in these wait for user action tags. It's pretty easy to know what's going on here. All this is doing is waiting for an action, presenting a message. So this is the message we started off with, and then what's the action it's waiting for? Well, that's defined as clicking the continue button. So yeah, very, very simple workflow for getting this into a working training script. Just to give an example of the highlights, which is slightly more complicated, but not all that much more. Again, we're waiting for user action, presenting a message, but instead of clicking continue, we're actually going to click on an element this time, and that plus button we saw earlier is defined by its ID, which is toolactions_insert, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's pretty much as simple as that to set up a training script. Some of the advantages from the construction perspective is that it's really, really easy to build this stuff. You just record and then do a tiny little bit of easy scripting using this MXML scripting language. And then ultimately, on a long-term basis, it's very, very easy to maintain. If you change the workflow or anything like that, you can easily go back into this script and update it as you need, which is much easier to do than your sort of video content and so on. So yeah, if I were to summarize what the advantages are, just to remind you, we've got advantages for both the trainee and the builder. From the trainees' perspective, it's a very interactive way to be trained. You really are working with the real system. So the number of advantages there, no guesswork, no hypotheticals, no imagining how things go. You're actually using the system and seeing how it works. And from the building perspective, very, very easy to build, and on a long-term basis, very, very easy to maintain as well. So hopefully you can see some of the ways in which MaxTAF's training solution is quite superior to sort of more traditional methods.